If you're someone who's been diligently following a calorie deficit and you still are not seeing the scale budge, you are not alone and this video is for you. In this video, I'm gonna briefly go over 6 reasons why your calorie deficit might not be working and why you might not be losing weight. Then make sure you watch all the way to the end because I'm gonna give you a few simple suggestions that might help fix the problem and help you start to see progress on your weight loss or body recomposition journey. As always, we're gonna dive right in, but if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get a notification when I release a new video just like this one every single week. My name's Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and fitness and fat loss motivation specialist. I have over 17 years experience in the industry helping people increase lean muscle, decrease body fat to become the leanest, strongest, healthiest versions of themselves, and I created this channel because I want to help you as well. So when it comes to weight loss, as I've said in many other videos before, calorie deficit is the most important thing. So meaning calories in versus calories out. But sometimes it's just not as simple as eating less or moving more. So if you've been eating in a calorie deficit and you're not losing weight, now I'm gonna give you 6 reasons as to why this might be happening. Reason number 1, and usually most common, you're not actually in a calorie deficit due to improper or inconsistent tracking of your calories and your macros. So what do I mean by that? For example, if you are someone who's calculated your calorie deficit number to be 1,800 calories, but if when you're logging your food into an app or you're tracking, you're not being 100% accurate, there's a possibility that even though your app tells you you're hitting 1,800 calories, there's a possibility you're hitting 2,000 or 2,100 if you're not either accounting for certain things like liquid calories, so the cream in your coffee, sodas, alcohol, even things like sauces, so ketchup or ranch. Like if you're someone like me and I love to dip my vegetables in ranch and pretty much everything in ranch, you know, if you're just taking the bottle and squeezing it on a plate and you're like, about 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of ranch can be anywhere from 80 up to like 120 calories. So if you're accounting for 1 tablespoon, but maybe there's actually 3 tablespoons on your plate and that's where you're eating, that's a difference of about 200 calories depending on, again, which ranch you buy, but that's just a prime example. Same with ketchup. There is where sneaky calories come in. And if you're not tracking all of these things 100%, which to be honest, it's very hard to track all of this stuff 100%, but it could be the reason why you're not actually in a calorie deficit, even though your app is telling you that you are. Another problem when you're tracking is if you are someone who eats out a lot. So you're eating in restaurants, fast food, and you're grab and go, and you're relying kind of on a ballpark number of what an Egg McMuffin is telling you it's gonna be, how many calories, how much protein. And if you're eating out a lot, it's very, very hard to track this food 100%. Of course, once in a while, eating out is completely fine. As you know on this channel, I preach everything in moderation, but if you're eating lunch out every single day and you're having a salad, but you're only getting an approximate number of how many calories are in that salad or how much chicken is in that salad, you're still ballparking everything. Again, this is where it could be a difference of 100 to 200 calories a day, but when you look at that over the course of a week, that's an extra 1,000, 1,500 calories a week, which again could be the culprit taking you out of your calorie deficit. And this goes the same for at home. You know, if you're starting to ballpark things and you find that you're not actually losing weight, maybe it could be time to get a scale and start to really, really pinpoint things and learn about how much 4 ounces of chicken actually is. But I would say that's the step you would take when you are really strict and you've been tracking consistently. You're tracking every little liquid and every sauce perfectly into your app and you are still not losing weight. I would say that's when it's time to maybe get a scale and start tracking things even more accurately. Another thing that's very, very common, and you're human if you do this, is, for example, I have kids. If I'm making them a grilled cheese sandwich, if they leave like a little bit on their plate, I'm like, grilled cheese sandwich, take a bite, put it down. Ooh, they're having chips, 1 or 2 chips, put it down. These little like bites and niblets throughout the day, those also add up. So obviously, you know, you're probably not gonna track the 2 chips that you took off your kid's plate or the bite of the grilled cheese sandwich. But if you are doing that consistently, again, day after day or different times throughout the day with their breakfast and their lunch and their dinner, that again could add up to 200, 300, 400 calories a day, which in turn will take you out of your calorie deficit. Reason number 2, if you've been eating in a calorie deficit and the scale is not going down, maybe you've put on some muscle. So if you are strength training and maybe your goal is a body recomposition, which I also talk about a lot on this channel, where you're looking to decrease body fat and increase lean muscle. A lot of clients who I talk to, even though they're on a body recomposition journey, they still strive to see that number go down on the scale, even though I give them the full explanation that it might not change and there's a possibility that you're gonna increase some muscle, decrease body fat, and the scale might not change a lot. This is a possibility as to why the scale might not be moving, and it is very, very common, especially if you're strength training, which is why I always preach to everybody, progress pictures, measurements. How are your clothes feeling? How's your energy levels? Are you getting stronger in the gym? Are you lifting heavier? Are you increasing your reps, applying progressive overload? If all of these things are happening, your measurements are going down, your clothes are fitting better, body fat percentage is going down, you've taken progress pictures and your waist looks smaller and your arms look more lean, that means what you're doing is working. And remember, the scale is just one measure of progress. It can be very, very frustrating because I know a lot of people are fixated on that number on the scale. Just remember, if you're taking other forms of progress and those are all showing that you are improving and progressing, just keep going. I just want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Element, one of my go-tos for replenishing my electrolytes after sweaty workouts. Electrolytes are so important for so many functions in the body, including hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. Sometimes water just isn't enough, and Element has the perfect balance of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And better yet, no artificial sweeteners, no sugar, so no junk. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, sleeplessness, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Michelle. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Michelle. Reason number 3, your calorie deficit might not be working and you might not be in a calorie deficit. You are overestimating your exercise calories. So when you're initially trying to figure out what your calorie deficit for weight loss actually is, I have a bunch of videos already on my channel right here, and a few other ones that might be helpful regarding calorie deficit and maintenance calories. I'll link those in the description below if you want to go watch those next to learn about how to calculate your calorie deficit properly. But basically, when you are calculating your maintenance calories, which is what you want to do first, that is the number of calories. If you just ate that much every single day, you're going to maintain your current weight. So when you are calculating your maintenance calories and your calorie deficit, in many of these calculators that we're doing, you are going to be taking into account your daily movement. So there's a possibility you can put yourself as moderately active when really you're probably closer to sedentary. And there's a few other things that affect your metabolism, like your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so your NEAT, meaning just daily movement around the house, housework, walking to and from your car, dropping the kids off at school, all of that is considered your NEAT. There's their actual workouts. A lot of people wear Apple Watches or Fitbits to track how many calories they're burning in their workouts, and those are not very accurate. I would say don't use that as a marker to know, okay, well, I burned this many calories today, that means I can eat this many calories. I would say that's not the best way to go about it. Of course, keep tracking your workouts. I always tell people, compare different workouts to see, oh, well, I worked really hard today because my watch is telling me I burned a little bit more calories than I did yesterday. But especially when it comes to strength training, because your main goal is not necessarily burning calories when you're doing a strength training workout, your main goal is actually building muscle. So going slower, counting your reps, focusing on the mind-muscle connection, not so much burning as many calories as you possibly can. That's gonna come later when we build the muscle and it increase our metabolism. That's what we want it to do. Tip number 4 as to why you might not be losing weight in a calorie deficit and why you might not be even in a calorie deficit is you are either going off track too often. Again, like I said earlier, either eating out too much, or Monday to Friday, you crush it, you're in your calorie deficit, you're tracking macros and you're doing your thing, and then Saturday, Sunday, you completely go off the rails and you go over on your calories, you're not hitting your protein goal. Though I definitely say, and I truly live this way, is everything in moderation and healthy balance is very, very important. You should be able to go out to a restaurant and enjoy a good meal with maybe a glass of wine or your favorite drink with a friend or with family without feeling guilty. But if you are doing this too consistently and week after week after week, there's a possibility that this is what's holding you back from reaching your goals. Tip number 5, your maintenance calories might have changed. So if you are someone who started their weight loss journey at 200 pounds, and say you were eating in a calorie deficit, you're crushing it, and now you've gone down to 180 pounds, but you're still using that same maintenance calories number to calculate your calorie deficit, most likely your maintenance calories have changed from when you were 200 pounds to now you're 180 pounds. You need to do some new calculations in order to put yourself in a deficit again. That's another reason why, if you are still eating that same calorie allotment, even though you've been successful, even if you've lost 10 pounds, there's a possibility that's all changed. So you need to recalibrate and recalculate to see if your maintenance calories have changed and if you need to change your new calorie allotment for your new body weight and again, your new weight loss goal. And my 6th reason as to why your calorie deficit might not be working and why you're not losing weight, have we looked at your macros? So yes, calories in versus calories out is most important. But if you are not eating enough protein in order to fuel your body, in order to build muscle, in order to keep you feeling full, it's gonna be much harder to stick to your calorie deficit and stay in that lower calorie range. If you're not eating lots of whole foods, high volume foods, high fiber foods, in order again to keep you feeling full and nourish your body, if you are just getting all your calories from bars and shakes, it's going to be way harder to stick to your calorie deficit, meaning you're probably gonna cheat a little bit more, you're gonna have more bites of that grilled cheese sandwich, you're gonna have more chips, you're most likely gonna go off the rails on the weekend because what you're doing throughout the week is not sustainable. In order to stay in your calorie deficit, you need to make sure you're eating the right food so you still have energy, so that you still feel full, that you still have energy to do your workouts. And the only way you're gonna have that is by eating lots of protein, not relying on processed food, getting your carbs from complex carbs and getting good fats and keep your body fueled through your calorie deficit. Although it might feel like a diet because you are eating less calories than you're used to, it shouldn't feel like a diet. If you are choosing low calorie, high volume foods, high protein foods, you are going to feel much better on your calorie deficit and weight loss journey versus eating higher calorie processed foods, because just put simply, you can't eat as much of that throughout the day and still stay in your calorie deficit. So that's the last thing to think about. And I guess I have 2 more suggestions because I always do this whenever I'm filming videos. I have my 6 points that I want to talk about and then I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about this because I also think it would be helpful. Stress management and sleep, something that is very, very overlooked when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, body recomposition, feeling good. Inadequate sleep and high stress levels can lead to overeating or wanting to overeat because these all disrupt your hunger hormones. So will make you feel more hungry, increase your cortisol levels, which can make it much harder to drop body fat. Although it's not always possible, but finding something that's going to help you manage your stress levels as well as trying your best to get as much sleep as you can, 6 to 8 hours a night. I know, I am a mom of 2, I get it. Sometimes it's not possible. If you work night shifts, I'm sure it's not possible, but doing your best to prioritize sleep. So meaning if you're laying up on the couch watching Netflix and it's midnight and you know you should have gone to bed 2 hours ago, just go to bed. Like if you are serious about reaching your weight loss goals, you need to prioritize your sleep. You need to prioritize stress management, find things that work for you. So there you go. There's some reasons, 6 plus a few extras, why your calorie deficit might not be working. So what can we do now? If you answered yes to any of those things I just said, what can you start to do now to try and fix this? First things first, recalculate your calorie deficit. So make sure that you are doing it properly. Make sure, 1, that you're not eating too little and it's too unrealistic to stick to. If you're someone who is following the 1200 calorie guide, I have a video here talking all about that 1200 calorie magic number and whether that is the right number for weight loss. I'll link that in the description below if you want to go watch that next as well. 2, you want to make sure you're tracking consistently, even if it's cookies, if it's grilled cheese sandwiches, if it's chips, if it's a shot of tequila, if it's a glass of wine, whatever it is, tracking everything 100% the best you can, obviously. Not only is this great for accountability in just cutting down on the little bites and niblets and the sauce and like literally if you measure out like 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, you would be shocked at how small that actually is. You know, measuring the sauces, tracking your liquid calories, all of these things, and really start to be like, I'm really gonna lock this in. You don't have to do it forever. But again, I've said in multiple videos, tracking is an educational tool, and it really is the only way to ensure that you are in a calorie deficit. Another tip, just stop eating out so much. If you really, again, wanna be very consistent with your tracking, stop eating out for lunch every day. Stop going through the drive-thru for breakfast. Start prioritizing eating from home, meal prepping, making your own food, focusing on nutrient-dense foods to keep you feeling full. You can still fit a cookie in here, you can still fit a protein bar in, you can do that, but 80% of your day, try and get your food from home-cooked, healthy, whole foods. And last but not least, look at your workout routine. So if you're only doing strength training 3 times a week and that's it, and you're not adding any extra movement or you're not doing any cardio training, that's an opportunity to increase some calorie burn throughout the week. So what I always tell people is, let's look at what you're doing here. You're perfecting this, you've got all this. What are we not doing, and what are some other tools we can add in? So instead of taking away more calories, keep your calories the same. If you're comfortable at that 1,600 calories and that's a 500 calorie deficit, instead of dropping to 1,300, where can we add in an extra 200 calorie burn? 30-minute walk every day. Can you do 20 minutes on the treadmill or an incline treadmill or elliptical or a stepper after your strength training sessions? But it does help. Every little bit helps. So that's my last tip, is look at your current exercise regimen. It doesn't mean you have to do fasted cardio every morning and that you have to be doing weights for an hour and cardio for an hour. If you're not doing any cardio, where can you add in a little bit and see how that helps? Even if it's going for a long walk on a Saturday on your day off, that can help. Just think little bits. 10 minutes is better than nothing. If you're looking for more help to learn more about calculating your calorie deficit, I'll put a link below where you can download my free calorie deficit guide. I've also got an 8-week beginner-friendly strength training program, which also incorporates how to add movement as well as strength training. I've got one for the gym, one with dumbbells only, 3-day or 4-day split options, depending on what works best for your schedule. I'll link that in the description below as well. And of course, if you need more help and accountability and coaching, you can learn more about my one-on-one online fitness and nutrition coaching program, where you'll be working with me directly. I'll link that in the description below as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave any questions in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. Give this video a like if you found it helpful. And as always, I will see you in the next one.